Hello friends! Today we're going to talk about this awesome wrap which I have decided to call the Ruffled Sari side bun, because we create this really cool, foofy side bun, but we leave out all the great ruffly bits of the sari, and we're creating a really neat sort of intricate wrap that's actually really simple, comfortable to wear, and you could totally do it without a sari, with a fringe scarf, anything like that. It's something that I sort of accidentally made up and sort of re-engineered so I could do a tutorial for you guys, and it's just, yeah, it's a really great fun wrap, and I look forward to showing it to you. So hang on and let's go over the ruffled sari side bun. Alrighty, so for this wrap, all you need are two scarves. In this case, I've chosen a shiny scarf is my base scarf. Now this is a bronze Shinylicious. I do recommend a shiny scarf. I think this is a interesting wrap because it plays with texture. And I also have a green sari. Now this is sort of the important part, is you really need something with a lot of ruffle and texture on the end. So whether it be a scarf with a really interesting fringe or a lot of ruffle, I don't think you would be super happy with this look with just a non-fringed plain scarf. So keep that in mind when you're doing it, because it really is all about creating the ruffle. So what we're going to do to start is just tie our base scarf, in this case the bronze 2-in-1, on our head with our equal ends, obviously folding it to fit our head. You'll have to excuse my looking down. My mirror's in a bit of a weird position today, and I haven't been able to quite fix it how I want it. Okay, so now when I posted this look, I did what I call a side part, and this is something that I've been doing lately and I've been really enjoying it. So you tie your scarf on an angle at the front of your head, and then you can tie it if you want. I just crisscross, to be perfectly honest, because whenever I can crisscross, you ladies know my motto, crisscross, crisscross. So we've crisscrossed it. Now you're going to take the tail that is on the other side of the angle and bring it up also on an angle. And so what you're doing is, because we have to hide this tail, we don't need this tail for basically how this wrap finishes, rather than hide it at the back, what I like to do whenever I have to hide a tail like this is create this side part. I don't mind my shaper showing. I don't mind my hair showing. So, I mean, it's all up to you, but bring it up nice and firm, nice and tight, so you don't want a lot of bulk. And you're just creating this really cool side part. I have a pretty round face, heart-shaped face, so I need that side part to sort of put a stop and make this more flattering for me. But you don't necessarily, you don't need it, especially if you have like a long face and angles just sort of aren't flattering to you. But you're gonna bring it all the way around and tuck it in. So you can see here now that we've created this really awesome sort of side part. We have some pleats happening. Now, in order to keep things flat, do what I like to do, is called the comb over. You just take the flat palm of your hand and you just sort of pull and comb. And as you can see, what it does is it sort of forces the volume to the sides, and it keeps everything sort of nice and tight on your head and nice and flat looking. So then what we're left with is our one tail down and the one tail up. So now we're going to grab our second scarf, which is our sari, and you're going to tie it with one end long and one end short. Now it's important to tie the short end on the end that you want the side bun to be. Or opposite rather. So I want my sort of bun, my pullover, to be on this side, which means I have to put my short side here and my long side here, because they're going to cross. And it's really important that you get the sides in the right spot. So that is the one thing you have to keep an eye on for this wrap. So when I did this, I left the one end really short. Remember, it's over here because it's going to come over here, and the one end really long, and you'll see why. So all I'm going to do is sort of put the sari on. Now this sari is beautiful, so I don't really have to fuss with it, but you can totally do whatever you want with your sari to get it sort of looking how you want. I also, when I put on saris, sort of bring it so I fold it so that it's not sitting kind of lumpy over the back. I don't like that look. I know some people do, but that's just not for me. So again, we've got one short, one really long. We're going to crisscross here. Okay, it's a little too short. So just, you got to play with it. That's perfect. So you want like a good couple inches here. You don't want anything crazy short, but you do want it a lot short because you want this one to be long. So about arm's length, a little bit longer, and you know, a good 5 or 6 inches on that end. So we've got this sort of where we want it. I'm just gonna stick this in my armpit so it doesn't lose its tension, and I'm gonna bring this tail up. So now this is creating basically just another layer. It's creating sort of an interesting little zigzag, and it's bringing more of that brown color to the front of my face. And you'll see now all these beautiful sort of angles that are happening. And then what I do is I just twist the small fringes in, and that way when I go to tuck it around, it actually pays attention to me. Ah, you were not staying in my armpit. Another trick, tie it around your neck, because then it will keep its tension and it stays out of your way. Just bring this through, hide those little fringes, all that great stuff. And again, same thing, comb over. So we've got some great pleats, and they're nice and flat, and they look really good, and I like the shape. And we're left now with our long end and our short end. So we're gonna pull this up just like you would a beginner's luck. So you're gonna bring your long end over. Again, it's a sari, so pick whichever ones you want. You're gonna bring your long end over. That's always for me fighting a sari, always just to get sort of the actual end I want up. Because you want particular colors near your face and you want things to be a little bit different. Perfect. So you're gonna bring it up with whatever colors you want near your face. You can adjust it, whatever you need. Oh, and we've come untucked. If that happens, obviously just retuck it back in. Easy peasy. Alrighty, so all you're gonna do now is just like a beginner's luck, you're gonna bring this around and through. Only, we're not gonna pull it all the way through. We're only gonna pull it halfway through. So we're left with this little thing here, and we're left with this foof. So we're gonna foof it out. Foof it out. Little fringes here that are escaping. I swear whenever you do like tutorial wraps, you always get like fringes and stuff that aren't listening to you. So now we've got this foofed up. We've got this sort of one long tail. Now this is like a sort of, I guess, ruffled beginner's luck, a little side bun detail. And I do this with most of my beginner's lucks because I like letting that, extra little volume happen. But in this case, all we're gonna do is take like, just before the ruffled edge, so just around here, and you're just gonna move it to the back and you're gonna tuck it under. So you'll find with your finger here, you'll find, as you can see, the back of this part, or if you knotted your scarf, you could tuck it into your knot. For me, I don't knot it on purpose, so I can do this really cool, crisscross thing. And then you're gonna bring it up through enough that you can foof it. And so you've got this like double foof happening here. Foof, such a good word. And all this ruffle and texture out here. So what I also did was put a pin on, so you could do that too. So what you're gonna do, basically, you can play around with the lengths, all that great stuff. For me, I want it a little bit longer. And you can play around with the foof and the ruffle, but what you're doing in the end is you're putting all this up to create this really cool sort of ruffled side bun, but leaving down the textured part of the scarf so you can get some really fun texture and tails, because you ladies know I do love tails, and whenever I can, I want to include them. So super fun. Like I said, really easy, doesn't take a lot of scarves, but it creates a really neat detail. And like I said, you could add pins, you could add headbands, you could really bang this one up. So please go ahead, and I look forward to seeing your interpretations of it. Feel free to tag me or post them on Instagram and tag my Instagram. I'll keep an eye out for them. If you have any comments, or if you maybe want to see this with not a sari, with a fringe scarf or a pashmina, or see how it works, we can try this out with different thicknesses. I'm happy to do that. If you liked this video, totally hit like. If you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. Obviously, I've got a bunch more fun tutorials coming down the pipeline that people have requested, and a bunch more fun stuff that I'm going to be putting up in the next little bit, especially now that we're getting into pashmina season. So thanks for watching today. Have a great rest of your day, evening, morning, whatever. Bye, friends, for now, and I will be seeing you soon. Bye.